Good morning. So, I was a turtle, and I was doing my little splash through the sea. And I got to the sand, I'm ready to lay my eggs. No, I'm endangered already. And what do I see? A boardwalk. Well, how you expect me to lay my eggs? On the boardwalk? Of course I couldn't do that. I'm endangered. How am I supposed to carry on this generation? I had no idea. I had to think about that. So I had to splash back in the sea and go and think about it. You're probably wondering, why is she telling me about a turtle? Is she crazy? No, I am not off my rockers. Today, I'm going to talk to you about coastal degradation. You're probably wondering, why is she talking to me about coastal degradation? Well, coastal degradation is a pressing issue for me. It may not be for you, but it is for me. And I hope by the time that I'm finished that it will be a pressing issue for you also. There seems to be neither the time, the resources, or the will to deal with the fact that it is a pressing issue. When we speak to coastal degradation, we speak to the damage and the removal of the materials accumulated naturally and the associated vegetation between the sea and the land, i.e. our coast. On such a note, is coastal degradation a physical process or is it human-induced? When I say human-induced, is it being exacerbated by our actions as humans? Is it solely because of our actions? Or is it both? Is it a physical cycle and human-induced? What can we do as youth to minimize the impacts of our actions if we say that coastal degradation is human-induced? We must take into consideration that the coast is the area which we as an island dearly rely on, considering the fact that tourism is our #1 foreign exchange earner. As Junior Minister of Tourism, I've come into contact with lots of persons, and I have seen that, really and truly, the backbone of our country is built on tourism. Where do we get our money from? We get our money from tourism. These tourists come here for our beaches, yes, which is on the coast. So, if we destroy our beaches, what do we have to turn to? Nothing. So, preservation of our beaches. Thus, to some extent, do you think that is a pressing issue? I do. Why should we be bothered? We live on an island. It is surrounded by water. When we destroy our coast, where will we go? We have nowhere to go. This coast is protected by coral reefs. In addition to what I have previously stated, coastal degradation is usually caused by wave action of our seas on the coast. This is especially during storms or high tide, and we really have no control over that at all. We don't. We have no control over that. We can't control the moon, and we cannot control if we have a storm or not. However, to give a precise cause, it is therefore impossible, but the accretion and depletion of our beaches is cyclical and affected by this wave action. It is not just this cyclical process. We as humans change everything, and you can agree with me there. Do we not change everything? Yes, we do. Our construction of buildings. I'm driving down the West Coast. What do I see? 1 hotel, 2 hotels, 3 hotels, and it could go on forever and ever. There's not an open window where there isn't a hotel or some kind of building. That's not a good thing at all. That is degradation of our coast right there. That causes a problem. When we place hotels on our beaches, we cause problems such as stopping the original waterway that we had in the first place, which causes flooding, doesn't it? Placement of groin and breakwaters. These placements of groin and breakwaters, yes, they're for a good cause. There are so that we could have beaches accumulating in some places. But if you take into consideration this, you have a beach in one place and you have none in the other. That's not good, is it? No, it isn't. There's a systematic destruction of coral reefs, which slows down the wave action on our coast. Okay, let's talk about coral reefs. Does anybody know anything about coral reefs? Okay. Yes, they are dying, and as a result of human action, right? Okay. So let's say I'm a gully. Yes, I know I'm a lot of things. This is not a Jekyll and Hyde situation here. It is not. When we dump, all our garbage goes into the gullies. This causes a problem, doesn't it? Because everything in this gully is going to end up on our coral reef. When it does end up on our coral reef, as someone in this area said, they're going to die. When our coral reefs die, then we have nothing to stop that wave action from destroying our beaches, and there we have a problem. Coastal degradation, it is being exacerbated by human actions. So that Chauffette box, or that KFC box that you have, please put it in the garbage, not through the window, not in the gullies, that old stove, that old fridge. Don't go and dump it in the gully and say out of sight, out of mind, because no, that's not what's going to happen. When you're at home sitting down and there's a hurricane and the water is in your house and you're scooping it out with a cup, remember the old stove that you put in the gully. She says she's here talking about coast, and here she is talking about gullies. I asked, do you understand why I have brought up the point of gullies in regards to coast? I hope so. Okay. Coastal degradation. There's habitat loss, there's biodiversity loss, and there's fragmentation. As an environmental science student at Queen's College, I do believe that sustainable development is the way to go. So us destroying our coast by building things there, placing breakwaters and grounds, yes, they do help in a way. It will cause habitat loss. The turtle that I was at the beginning, he or she has nowhere to lay her eggs. Turtles are already endangered. If they can't lay their eggs, what will happen? We will have no more turtles. Don't you believe that we as humans and they as turtles have the same importance on Earth? We're all animals. Yes, we are. Biodiversity loss. Biodiversity is important. For plant matter, we receive most of our medicine from plants. It might not necessarily be a plant on the beach or that's on the coast, but hey, it's a plant. Does it not have an equal value to exist just as we do? Fragmentation. Then you have speciation, and I can go on and on about that, but I don't want to bore anybody. I will leave this quote with you. It's not my quote per se, but I do believe in it. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children. Thank you.